Hello, dear viewer, and welcome to another episode of the Catholic League Forum. I'm Mike McDonald, Director of Communications at the Catholic League, and joining me today is Bill Donohue, President and CEO of the Catholic League. Now, Bill, we had another very busy week here at the Catholic League, but this week it seemed like most of the problems we were dealing with were coming from government entities. I was hoping you might be able to talk us through some of these ones. Let's start with the big one. I'm sure our dear viewers are familiar with the case of Mark Hoax, who's a pro-life activist from Pennsylvania. And last week, the FBI showed up with about 20, 25, 25, 30 field agents kitted out with tactical gear, battering rams, ballistic shields, long assault rifles, the whole 9 yards. Meanwhile, he previously offered to turn himself over to authorities, and that was just flat out rejected. They're showing up there with full force, screaming. He has 7 kids in the house.
Well, because he shoved some guy who was harassing his kid.
Right.
Back, last year.
Right. It was just
and what did the courts do with it?
And they threw it out, right? But meanwhile, the DOJ, FBI come in because of this case from a year ago, claiming it is a FACE Act violation, and nothing in the FACE Act seems to really apply here because this altercation was not him trying to block the clinic entrance, but was actually about just an altercation between the two of them, and the FACE Act applies to clinics, not individuals.
Yeah, and the thing is that this got some wide media coverage. To my knowledge, we're the only organization, the only civil rights organization in the country that called for an investigation. Immediately we jumped on this. I wrote to Senator Grassley, and we did the House and the Senate Judiciary Committee members, asking for either a probe or a hearing, or both, because if something is wrong at the FBI, at the top, I don't mean the field agencies, the regular guys and women are out there doing a good job. There's something wrong at the top here. And my biggest concern is the duplicity here. Not only is there overreaction, there's no need to send in the effect of a SWAT team, call it whatever they want, to go after this guy for shoving somebody who was harassing his kid. Look, the thing is, we have detailed over the last year all the attacks on crisis pregnancy centers. I've written to Garland about this. I've written to him about what's going on. We have a detailed list of all the Catholic churches, as well as cemeteries and other entities, which have been desecrated, torched, one way or another vandalized. So where are the people showing up, in the middle of the night with their SWAT team, knocking down doors, asking people, come out here? For what? These people are engaged in terrorism,
Right.
domestic terrorism, and nothing is done about any of them. Never mind the little SWAT team exercise they pulled on these people. We need to find out why the animus against pro-life people, how deep is it in the
Right.
FBI, why the duplicity, and why the overextension of the FBI in this regard. I'm very happy, I know you are too, Mike, with the reaction of a number of senators, though, who are looking into this. But they need the support of civil rights organizations like us. If others won't speak up, then we'll take the floor.
Right. And also you too, dear viewer. Any help that you can apply to your congressman, senator, greatly appreciated. This is a systemic problem at the FBI, to steal a phrase from the left, a systemic problem. So we really do need everyone pulling in that direction. Now, speaking of systemic problems, it seems like this whole sort of transgender ideology nonsense.
The madness.
The madness is really infected pretty much every corner of American life. And shockingly, it seems like the military has fallen in. This week he had to write a letter to the United States Air Force Academy out in Colorado about the Brooke Owens Fellowship, which is a 9-week paid internship that is geared towards women or gender minority. Now, what exactly does that mean? As they defined it, if you are a cisgender woman, an actual woman, a transgender woman, a woman who thinks you're a man, non-binary, not sure what that is, agender, still not sure, bigender, two-spirit, demigender, gender fluid, gender queer, or another form of gender minority, this is the program for you. Bill, what's going on?
Yeah, well, this is all madness, and they know it. So I wrote a letter to the Lieutenant General there, and I told him that I have the evidence that there's only a man and a woman. I want his evidence to show that I am wrong. All right, that's what I want to know. These people don't exist except in the head of a professor and on his blackboard, in the sanctuary of his classroom, with his supine students sitting there taking notes. Gender fluid people don't exist. It's a term, it's a concept. You're either a man or you're a woman. There's
Right.
no XYZ chromosome guy walking around the face of the earth. We have a DNA which makes all of us unique individuals.
Yeah.
All of us unique individuals. Your sex is determined by your father, it's not assigned. So we need to stop with this. And I happen to be a veteran of the United States Air Force, honorably discharged, Vietnam War era veteran. And so I take even greater offense at this. Now, as I said to him, I know it begins with Milley, he's the Joint Chiefs of Staff guy. He's kind of flipped out on a lot of this stuff. He knows and I know, and we all know, that we're living a lie. And unless people on our side call this for what it is, it's a lie, it's a fiction, there are no such things as a man becoming a woman in their heads, yes. That's why they belong in the asylum. All right? Instead, they're teaching and getting tenure at colleges and universities for this kind of stuff. But the idea that it's penetrated the military just goes to show how woke they have become, and it's a disgrace.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, dear viewer, if you are interested in this letter that Bill wrote, do check out our website, CatholicLeague.org. We'll have a link in the description below, but it's pretty powerful stuff and definitely worth checking out. Now, Bill, I want to close this week. Last week we were talking about probably your most favorite governor, Kathy Hochul. But we got a new governor in the running that you might really like now.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom out in California. He's been doing some interesting stuff. He's got some pro-life some anti-life billboards, pro-abortion billboards that he's putting in pro-life states, quoting scripture in Mississippi and Oklahoma. And he's also made the state a transgender sanctuary state. Can you tell us what's going on with Newsom?
Yeah, I mean, this guy has no respect, first of all, for America's sovereignty. He wants the illegal aliens to crash our borders, which he actually punctuated and enhanced what Jerry Brown, his predecessor, said about giving these, he gives them out illegal aliens ID cards and everything else. I'm sure he wants them to vote. There's no question about that. And then now he says, for the transgender, for these sexually confused kids, he wants them, if you live in a state where they have restrictive laws, there are states which do regard this as child abuse.
Yeah.
You're talking about a young little kid, all right? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 years of age, who's going through some difficult time. Instead of working with that kid to try and deal with the situation, they're involved in genital mutilation, chemical castration, removing girls' breasts. This is child abuse. This is child abuse. And thank God we have some states which will not allow it. He's saying come to our state and you don't have to worry about any prosecutions in your home state. And he does this in the name of parental rights to show you how demonic this is. Don't forget, this is the same man who helped kill his own mother. We always have to mention that in 2002, his mother had cancer and she had her own problems. She wanted some assistance in dying. He made her a hard-boiled egg. That's to show you how dutiful the son was before he helped put her down. So any man who can kill his own mother can certainly, is possible to be in favor of this kind of child abuse, whether or not he intends it or not. That's the effect of what he's doing. And to use scripture, to quote from Mark in the New Testament, that this is a good idea to kill your child, just goes to show you just how off the rails this man has become. And he'd like to be president of the United States. He's already destroyed California. He's ruining people's lives. He has no respect for our sovereignty, for parental rights, and certainly not for the rights of the unborn child.
Absolutely.
Other than that, we like him.
Well, now you know how Bill feels.
Yeah.
But dear viewer, if you are interested in this story or any of these stories we talked about, do check out our website, CatholicLeague.org. As always, we've got some great ways for you to get involved. And if you can also give this video a like and subscribe, we greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you so much.